Before dawn breaks, the village of Alberobello awakens to distant echoes. The sound of a helicopter slicing through the thin mist, preparing to land at the forest's edge. Below, the farmland lies torn, footprints from the sly wild boars still imprinted, more than 2 hectares ravaged overnight. They not only destroy crops, but they also test human endurance. Today, we will not merely observe from above. We will end this prolonged campaign. Peace in Alberobello must begin again, right here. The hunt begins just as dawn breaks. We approach the ravaged meadow and spot a herd of wild boars fleeing. Mark gives a concise signal over the radio. 2 guns fire simultaneously, muted, crisp, precise. The lead boar is controlled by a pinpoint shot, collapsing after a few staggering steps. The herd panics and retreats toward the forest. The team decides against pursuing. The opening strike spoke for itself. Our journey begins with a decisive move, exactly as we intended. We shift direction toward the riverbank area, the main water source for the village's fields. Below, a herd of wild boars tramples over rows of young flower seedlings, soil flying in streaks. I adjust altitude, tilt the helicopter slightly, giving John the shooting angle. John remains silent, eyes fixed on the target. He locks the sight, squeezes the trigger decisively. The first volley strikes 2 at the front, sending the entire herd into disarray. He continues to pivot the gun, changing angles, firing a few more rounds. Each boar falls in turn, unable to resist or inflict further damage. What do you think about our coordination? Leave a comment below if you too felt the pulse of this hunt. Weather shifts, dark clouds roll in. We can't fly as high as before. The helicopter glides low over a not yet harvested field near the village where golden stalks stand waiting. A black boar emerges, head down, rooting the earth for food. Before Mark can signal, John's barrel is already aimed. Bang, precise, crisp. Another target neutralized. The field regains calm. Villagers may rest a bit easier tonight. The overcast light brings steadier optics. We lower altitude. Hold the aircraft stable for John's optimal shot angle. The aerial chase is taut and intense. Every move demands total focus and flawless execution. That's exactly what you've just witnessed in a veteran hunter like John. 3 wild boars fall cleanly, quickly, and precisely under his shots. In mere minutes, the herd is fully subdued. The crops are once again shielded, bringing peace of mind to the farmers. After a short break, we return to the forest margin, where trees alternate with open spaces. This time, a trio of wild boars hides among dry leaves. We start the helicopter engine. The noise drives them toward the clearing, making them easier to aim at. I maintain aircraft stability, adjust flight angle, so John has maximum visibility. Gunshots echo. Each boar falls one by one, cleanly and silently. The hunt continues. More targets are neutralized. Hunting here is not just about protecting crops. It demonstrates our sharp strategy, tight teamwork, and seasoned experience. Night begins to fall. The sun sets behind the trees. On the western edge of the freshly harvested fields, a large herd of wild boars, more than 10 strong, rushes across the bare soil. Ravaging the last remains of the season's crops. We drop lower, maintain shooting angles. Bullets slice through the air. Each one hits its mark with perfect precision. Noble ad escapis, every motion was premeditated, leaving no footprint behind. The helicopter glides above the village as dusk falls. Shadows stretch over roofs and quiet fields below. We end today's hunt with deep satisfaction and pride. Victory came from skill, coordination, careful planning, and the trust of the villagers. Every morning on the farmlands of Texas, people's hearts sink at the sight of their crops destroyed overnight by wild boars. Tender corn crushed under heavy hooves, sugarcane fields torn apart, deep tracks gouged into the soil, scars of helplessness. They've tried everything: strong fences, traps, even loud noises to scare them off. Yet the aggressive herds always return, as if mocking every effort. And that very harsh reality is why we are here today, to step into a grueling hunt and reclaim peace for this land. Will we succeed? Follow along and witness the answer for yourself. At dawn in the southern forest, the silence is almost unsettling. We had already taken position in our ambush, ready for a challenging day ahead. Through the scope, Finn quickly spotted a massive wild boar lumbering in the distance. And in the blink of an eye, a precise shot dropped it, an explosive start to today's hunt. We pressed on along a trail covered in dry leaves, a narrow passage between two forests. David's experience told him this was a common path for boars, And today was no exception. The moment the prey bolted across, his gun thundered, cutting off its escape to the other side. But the bullet missed by a hair. The beast fled, leaving behind heavy breaths and a trace of regret for the whole team. A stark reminder, a split second of hesitation, and the balance can shift completely. Just then, a signal crackled over the radio from Thomas's team. They had found a target. The instant his eyes locked with the boars, it was like a final farewell. His rifle roared. The boar sprang forward in panic, but only managed a few desperate steps before its bulky body tumbled down the slope, closing a breathless standoff. After an intense morning in the forest, we left the dry trees behind, climbed into the Land Cruiser, and continued toward the withered grasslands of the West. Here, wild boars often recklessly charge across open ground in search of escape, smashing through anything in their path. That made the hunt even more tense, demanding patience and nerve to squeeze the trigger at just the right moment. In the fading afternoon light, I stopped by a dirt road, tire marks still fresh on its surface. I knew this was the golden hour. The prey would be forced to reveal itself. And just as expected, a whole herd burst out. My shot rang, marking one to stay behind. That bullet not only ended a chase, but also drove the rest right into the trap my teammates had prepared ahead. Because a true master hunter doesn't just bring down prey, they control its fear to decide the course of the hunt. One bullet, but an entire battlefield decided. On the other side, John's team was ready to greet the hairy intruders. Following the tracks, he found one that had strayed from the herd, recklessly dashing into the dry grass field. John didn't rush. He waited calm and patient, watching every move. And when the moment came, one precise shot was enough. That's the mark of a seasoned hunter, composure, even when staring straight at the golden opportunity. By late afternoon, the sun cast scattered rays over the grassland, making the silence even heavier. I hid patiently behind a bush, waiting for the slightest mistake. Then came the chance, a quick pull of the trigger, and the bullet found its mark. The second boar, startled by the shot, bolted and barely escaped. No matter, our paths will cross again. A day of hunting in Texas came to an end, filled with tension from the pre-dawn ambush in the dry forest to the fading light on the barren grassland. Every shot, every step carried the weight of protecting the people's livelihood against these destructive beasts. On every stretch of the journey, the powerful Toyota Land Cruiser stood by us. And though exhaustion set in after a long day, we knew our mission went beyond hunting. It was about safeguarding life here. Today's journey is just one chapter of a much larger story. Stay with us for more brutal hunts, heart-stopping moments, and victories that bring hope back to the people of Texas. In the southern United States, the wild hogs have become an increasingly severe menace, causing heavy damage to crops and threatening the livelihoods of local people. To confront this growing danger, Jim's hunting team set out, armed with modern weapons, battle-hardened hunting dogs, and a specialized vehicle for the trip. With years of experience under their belts, Jim and his team saw this not merely as a hunt, but as a mission to protect the land from the vicious creatures that wreak havoc on it. Will this hunting expedition live up to their expectations? Follow their thrilling journey as they face down the wild hog menace. As the sun just began to rise, Jim's team quickly set up an ambush in a vast patch of tall grass. It didn't take long before their quarry appeared. Barely visible, its body almost entirely concealed by the thick vegetation. But with his skill and experience, nothing could throw Jim off. He raised his rifle, locked onto the target, and calmly squeezed the trigger. With just one shot, the bullet struck a fatal spot, and the beast collapsed instantly. Indeed, the title of sharpshooter in this land was well earned. The opening shot of the hunt had gone off flawlessly. Determined to venture deeper into the thick grass, Jim carefully scanned every nook and cranny, leaving no sign unchecked. Suddenly, a rustling sound echoed from very close by. His instincts told him the prey was right here. Jim tightened his grip on his rifle. In the blink of an eye, from the right flank, a massive dark shape shot out, wildly searching for an escape route. But how could it outrun Jim? Without hesitation, he fired. The sharp crack of a shot rang out. The beast staggered, then collapsed instantly. Now imagine yourself in that position. Would you be able to maintain the calm and composure that Jim showed? Not everyone has the skill and nerve to turn that unexpected moment into a lethal shot. Before Jim could even lower his rifle, another deafening shot rang out from the other side of the grass. It turned out that Jim's teammate had just locked onto another target. Without needing to get closer, he chose to take the shot from afar. Through the thick cover of leaves, his cold eyes never wavered, following every movement of the creature. When it made a mistake and exposed an opening, the decisive squeeze of the trigger rang out. The bullet was so precise, it left the beast no chance. It froze, then collapsed to the ground in an instant. Once again, the hunting team had successfully completed their mission of protecting the crops. Knowing that the forest would surely hold more signs of the beast, the team decided to veer deeper into the woods. After more than 15 minutes of moving through the dense underbrush, a nearby bush began to shake, gradually intensifying. Just as the wild boar burst out, attempting to flee, bang, a gunshot rang out. The barrel of Jim's rifle was still shrouded in smoke. The bullet flew with pinpoint precision, not veering even a fraction. The creature collapsed, motionless, a clear testament to the skill and mastery of the legendary hunter of this land. Suddenly, a signal came from the southwest. The team immediately rushed toward it. Amidst the thick canopy, a massive beast charged aggressively, crashing through the foliage and barreling forward. Jim raised his rifle, taking a decisive shot. Bang! The roar of the shot shattered the air. But the creature was no easy prey. It skillfully dodged the first bullet, slipping away. Unfazed, Jim quickly adjusted his stance and fired again. The bullet struck with deadly accuracy, finding its mark. The beast slid and collapsed, completely still. As you can see, the wild boars here are cunning and tenacious. Without the skill and experience of a seasoned hunter, who could possibly put an end to this menace? Just as the hunt seemed to be drawing to a close, as the team reached the edge of the forest, a shadow suddenly dashed across their path. The creature hurried, as if frantically searching for its lost comrades. But Jim didn't let the opportunity slip away. He swiftly ended the hunt with a single shot. Jim proved once again his precision and the skill of a true professional hunter, playing a crucial role in protecting the crops. Came to a successful close with a bounty of spoils. This expedition of Jim's team not only showcased the skill and experience of seasoned hunters, but also played a vital role in addressing the wild boar problem in the region. All of this was done within the boundaries of the law, with full support from the local authorities, something for which our team is deeply grateful. But has this battle truly come to an end? Or is it merely a brief lull before the next eruption? Stay tuned for our next journey. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future hunts. We took off just as dawn broke, the soft light sweeping across the field below. In the stillness of the morning, a herd of wild boars slowly moved, leaving behind winding, faint tracks in the grass. Inside the helicopter, the hum of the engine blended with the biting wind as the team kept their eyes peeled, weapons ready for the chase ahead. At 1:30 p.m., our helicopter took off from the sun-baked fields below. Down on the ground, the wild boars, those that had ravaged the young corn crops, fled in a panic, scattering in every direction. We tightened noose. Each shot was a calculated effort to halt the threat to the harvests of the local farmers. The roar of the helicopter blades mixed with the crack of gunfire, driving the herd into a corner with no escape. A bullet from above took down the lead boar, sending the rest of the herd into a frenzy, running aimlessly. We made quick work of the remaining boars, marking a successful start to our mission today. We continued our hunting expedition, the helicopter descending low along the forest's edge where the terrain gradually opened up into the grasslands. Suddenly, two massive dark figures burst through the tangled underbrush, charging swiftly across the thick grass, darting past dense shrubs. John fought to maintain the helicopter's altitude, the blades whipping the air, creating a gust that swept across the ground below. I adjusted the scope, focusing intently on the lead animal. A firm pull of the trigger, and immediately the target was under control, the helicopter shifted direction, stabilizing in its position. The second shot was already lined up for the remaining target. Everything unfolded in silent precision, each movement seamless, every step executed within perfect control. From high above, we spotted another sounder of wild pigs charging straight towards the fields. The helicopter immediately veered, closing in to block their path. The roar of the engine startled them, sending them scattering in all directions. I raised my rifle, the first shot hitting the lead boar squarely, dropping it in the frozen field. The second turned to flee, but it didn't escape my sights. A precise shot sent it crashing to the ground behind a bush. The third shot was aimed at a boar on the right flank, desperately seeking an escape, and that ended the pursuit. For a few seconds, the cabin fell silent. Everyone exhaled in relief. But we knew the challenge wasn't over yet. What do you think of our sharpshooting skills? Share your thoughts below. After the intense chase from the helicopter, we landed and continued our hunt on the vast open grasslands. The roar of the engine was gone, replaced by the stillness of the open space, the only sound the whisper of the wind rustling through the dry grass. Every step was measured, cautious, careful not to disturb the environment and lose track of our prey. The hunt had only just begun. Not long after we ventured deeper into the grasslands, a wild boar suddenly charged out from behind a tree. I quickly raised my rifle, took careful aim, and dropped it with a single shot. The sound of the gunshot echoed through the air, sending the hunting dogs into a frenzy, their cries sharp as they sprinted toward the target. The dogs closed in fast, driving the boar into a thicket nearby. They didn't give it a chance to escape. These smart dogs immediately took control of the situation. The hunt was on again. Following the trail along the edge of the grasslands, we spotted two wild boars moving leisurely. The group remained silent, and I gently raised my rifle. A precise shot stopped the lead boar in its tracks, a dark red streak staining the ground beside it. The second boar, startled, darted off in the opposite direction. John quickly adjusted the rifle scope. The second shot rang out. Both boars were under control, and the hunt was progressing smoothly. John and I exchanged a glance, letting out a relieved breath. Each shot was not just about bringing down the game, but also about preventing a threat to the crops and the livelihood of local farmers. What do you think about our teamwork and precision? Leave a comment below to share your thoughts. As the evening sky darkened, the wind began to whip across the newly seeded fields. Ahead of us, two wild boars were digging into the soil, destroying the freshly planted rows. With night falling rapidly, we decided to take down one before calling it a day. I adjusted my stance, took careful aim, and squeezed the trigger. The first boar dropped at the edge of the field, while the other, startled, bolted into the darkness. The light was fading, no longer enough to track the second one. We packed up, ready to head back, satisfied with what we had accomplished. The final shot not only marked the end of our hunt for the day, but also served as a necessary action to protect the crops that would soon begin to grow. Today's hunt came to a close with intense moments and seamless coordination among the team members. Every step, every shot was the result of careful preparation and a serious commitment to the task at hand. This journey wasn't just ours. It was a collective mission to protect the crops and livelihoods of the local community. A big thank you to our teammates, the local authorities, and the people who have supported us throughout the entire process. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our future expeditions.